How's it going, doctor?
Pretty good. How's it going with you?
It's going. Getting through the day. Fucking when we don't know what to talk about is crazy. Now,
As soon as the fucking
I was thinking.
camera's on. All right, hello world.
Hello, world. We're fucking retards, but that's why we're here. Let's do this, bitch. All right.
So,
I'm your host, Chaos Carl. We got Doctor Wu. Let's get her done, man.
no
We don't
affiliation with
care what we
Doctor
talk
Who.
about. No affiliation whatsoever. It's not like that's what your banner is set to or anything. It's totally
Hey,
fine.
we don't talk about that.
Fine, we won't talk about that. So, what will we talk about? What are your thoughts on global warming and global domination?
Who's dominating?
I don't know. I'm a bottom.
Wait, look, we're both bottoms here, okay?
We're both bottoms. Yeah, well, that's fine. See, that's why
We
we're
all bottom
podcasting
here.
together, because why the fuck not, right? Look, we're all bottoms, we're all subs. I'm a power bottom mainly, but no, see, no. We won't talk about that. It's fine. Don't worry about it. Look, we have the sexual, the explicit content marker on this, but not so we can just talk about that. It's fine. Anyway,
I
wow, that was a
mean,
rough start. Let's get.
that is a rough start. I mean,
Yeah, so I guess one of the things that I've been kind of wanting to talk to you about is like how gaming is changing, right? I
yeah.
feel like, you go like back maybe 20, like 10, 15 years ago, maybe you get like stuff like Blitz 3D created SCP containment breach, which given our theme is perfect to talk about, I suppose. Um, I feel like Blitz 3D for an engine so old did really well at crafting a game that did really well amongst the masses, right? SCP was very original already because it was like Creepypasta 2.0. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then you take that and you turn it into a game, and it's been loved by so many people, and it's still making people scared out of their wits to this day because of its randomness.
I do actually have a fun fact about SCP Container Breach.
Go for it.
So, there is a mechanic where they have a health kit, right?
Hmm.
And
The
health
health kit
doesn't
that
work.
nobody uses.
Well, yeah, that's because of this one specific reason. The red one
Okay.
can hurt you.
Really?
If you have a
Dude, I
high
played
enough
SCP for like
HP,
13 years. I didn't know that.
um, same with I think it's the mini one's the good one. The blue one is the one that can also hurt you, but by healing you. Because
Yeah,
instead
welcome to
of
the
healing you,
foundation, bitch.
well, it sets your HP higher.
It really, that's crazy. So it sets your HP higher, but it has a chance to hurt you, like take away the health you already
It's
have.
more so because it's set to a very specific amount. And the
Hmm.
spaghetti code, just he never went back and fixed it.
And that's so funny because I know the creator as well. I know the developers like personally, so I gotta
Yeah.
next time I talk to him, I gotta talk to fucking. That's gonna be great, dude. I need to talk to Savage, and all them again. It's been a hot second,
Oh yeah.
but yeah, like that's also the thing, right? Is like as a person, I'm an avid SCP player, okay, and it's just my stick. I'm working on developing an SCP fan game. That's just my type of thing. So when I'm developing a game and being able to talk to the original people that started it all is such, it's such a fresh experience. It's not something you can just get anywhere, right? You could talk to anyone about SCP, anybody who's just an enthusiast, and it's whatever. But talking to the people who brought it to the world's attention, after the wiki page and after everything else, and what kind of sparked the global game development of that. It's just, it warms my heart. And
Yeah.
I guess the reason I was bringing up the whole Blitz 3D engine thing was because like SCP was such a well crafted game for being on Blitz 3D, and yet now we have stuff on Unreal Engine and Unreal Engine 5, and we actually have almost, depending on how you look at it, worse quality
That
than an
that
engine that was built in like early 2000s or the 90s.
I do have a game that I want your opinion on with that.
Go for it.
What do
I
you think
don't
about
know
the
if I'll have
original
played it.
3008?
3008, as in the SCP 3008.
The game that's the person made.
Well, I don't know. I haven't played it. I know 3008 is the Infinite IKEA, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I haven't played that before. I played 087B, which was like the original SCP containment breach before containment breach, and it was like you descended down the stairwell and like just kept going and going and going until you got killed or whatever. I played
Jump
that.
scare.
I played yeah, no, yeah, fucking ghost face in the distance there. But I got like I after I saw that, I just fell in love, right? And I heard about what SCP was, and I realized there was a page for it and like short stories, and it was just I was enthralled because reading through these, it was like creepy pasta all over again. Because back in the day, you had like the Slender Man, you had Jeff the Killer, and all these other things, and they were like this sort of scary stories to tell around the campfire type stuff, right?
Yeah.
You know, you'd have the like, don't say Bloody Mary's name 3 times or whatever, she'll appear in the mirror behind you kind of a thing. Like those sort of stories to scare children at night stuff. And when I came across SCP, it was like a breath of fresh air. It was like the same stuff, but like remastered. And I mean that when I say Creepypasta 2.0, it's some next level stuff. It's just same universe.
The only issue I have with SCP is their barrier to entry
Mm,
because you have to have a moderator review your thing, which I do get, but they get really prissy about it. Like
yeah.
you can create your own custom thing where it's like, ah yes, Euclid, nah, we got Samuel now. That's a pretty good idea. But
Well, yeah. I mean, we got safe, we got totally safe, which is the 420J SCP. We've
oh
got
yeah,
safe, we've got Euclid, we've got Keter or Keter, depending on how you say it. And route,
keto.
Keter, Keter. Well, I don't care. Keto, I will hurt you right now. You know how I lost weight? It wasn't keto. Thaumiel, you've got Apollyon, you've got Yesod, which is only for one of them, which is the God's Blind Spot, which is one of the 001s. Which is an interesting. I never realized that there was one for that anyway, but it's interesting to me. And I think there's a few more. I don't remember the names of them. There's one that is actually hard to pronounce, but I love the sort of like that each classification is different, and a lot of people, they get it mixed up, right? There's the safe Euclidean theater people think is like a danger level, but really it's an info hazard thing. It's how
Yeah,
much we know about it and how likely we are to contain it with the 3 letters, right? The mission statement of SCP: secure, contain, protect. If we can do all 3 of those, then we can mark it as safe. It's just,
I feel
yeah.
like with that confusion, that's how we led to like genuine murder monsters that will just kill you and are evil and you can't kill it.
Well, I feel like the sort of discrepancy came from when Containment Breach came out, because Containment Breach had like the difficulty levels you could select for your save,
Mm.
and it was set as like safe, Euclid, or Keter for that. And I think that's where people got confused because they thought it was a danger level, and then that just became the thing that was widespread. So,
I mean,
you know.
I do get that. At the same time, though, when people start looking at the word Thamul when they're starting to like read, like imagine you play the game,
Mhm.
all you see is Keter, Save, Euclid, out of order, who cares? But like then you see Thamul, you're like, what does this mean when I go on the wiki, trying to search up exactly what this thing is? Because in the game, there are some SCPs with severely redacted um pages
Oh
on
yeah.
them.
Like that
And
one, I think it was literally just a doctor's note that the guy was trying to get from another person higher up, and he was like, "It's all redacted except for like level 4 clearance or something," and dude was like a level 2, and he's like, if it was this redacted, I would have just said not to send it to me." There's like
yeah,
3 words throughout the whole thing that's there, and everything else is just black ink.
run
God, I
very
love the
fast.
the humor. Yeah. I love the like little bits of humor. Like there's just a few words here and there, just like coffee, fucking coffee, the, if, and but. Like that's literally all you can read. And then everything else is just black.
I actually
That's funny to me.
I remember the first SCP that I saw from that game. It was
Mm.
the
Well, we
skull.
all know it was 173.
No, it was the skull.
No, no, no. We all know the first SCP was 173. That's how you start the game. You
Well,
walk
I
into his
mean,
chamber.
okay,
That's
I discovered it on
willingly. I
YouTube.
mean, willingly. I guess is
What
what you mean is more like discovered it willingly versus being forced to step into a room with it.
I mean, like, not even playing the game. When I first saw the game itself, that's
And
how
you're
I
talking
discovered
about
it.
the skull, the atrocity skull, 1123.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, go on.
It's a pretty crazy thing because I forget the exact SCP's whole thing, but essentially it sends you
It was like
back into the
it
memories of
takes you
someone
into a
during the
memory
Holocaust.
of yeah, so the skull belonged to I'm pretty sure the skull belonged to an individual who was in a Nazi concentration camp. And when you touch the skull, it gives you the memories of them in the camp. So you kind of like get sent there, like it's in your head. It's not actually happening. I know this because when I played SCP Containment Breach and when you actually interact with the skull, if the door behind you is still open, 173 can still kill you because you're still technically in the real world. You're not being teleported somewhere or taken somewhere else.
Yeah.
So, yeah, the atrocity skull, SCP 1123, was basically people called it the Nazi skull. The actual name on the wiki is the atrocity skull. But yeah, it puts you in the perspective of an individual and like you're kind of like parallel to the SCP universe of like the layout is very similar, right? You're like walking out of your cell like D9341 did, and you're being escorted by a guard and all that stuff. It's like a whole thing. But yeah,
Yeah.
it was definitely fascinating. And I think it broke a few stereotypes of like people who were afraid to say certain things. Like people are afraid to say the name Hitler and the say the words Nazi and stuff because it's such a like a well-known thing that they were terrible and that it was a bad thing and you don't talk about it. But
We
I
don't
feel
talk
like we're
about
way
gay.
too I feel like yeah. I feel like we're way too like sensitive, right? Like
Yeah.
you think historically speaking, I can talk about Hitler and talk about the Nazis and say like, you know, in 1945, the Nazis had led their blitzkrieg across Europe, you know, and like the whole thing about like Hitler leading the military there and you know, another fun fact, right? Like you when the Japanese attacked Pearl Harbor, you know, people always say whenever you ask them how did World War II start? You know, they always say, well, Japan attacked Pearl Harbor.
Yeah.
Nobody ever stops and asks why, right? Nobody looks at the motive of the people. They just see somebody pointed a gun there, shot, and that was that, right? But if you go back a little bit further, and you can actually see this in a few different movies that kind of represent the events that occurred, such as the Battle of Midway, there's a movie called Midway and they kind of explain it in this where the Japanese and the United States had a meeting between their like high-end officials and stuff and they were the United States was cutting off supplies of I think it was oil to Japan and they felt threatened by this because oil kind of runs the whole economy at this point, right? Oil is what runs everything and they felt threatened and went to attack the US. But they literally, if you didn't know this, Hitler actually contacted the Emperor of Japan and said that they would help them attack the United States once he finished his blitzkrieg across Europe. But
Mm.
that they had to wait in because he knew they couldn't take the US alone but they were impatient and they attacked us and then went to war while the Nazi army was still marching across Europe. So it's fascinating, you know. You really you look into it, you see a lot more.
I mean, America was also pretty pro-Nazi during that time. They were very anti-Semitic, um,
Mhm.
which is why we weren't even in the war in the first place. But it's like giving, it's like throwing a rock at someone, right? Of course they're going to get
Yeah.
pissed. So
Right.
no matter if they're your friend, if you're throwing a rock at them, you may be like on the ground in a few minutes.
Yeah, like that's just normal human behavior at that point.
It's like even with like Pearl Harbor and everything, the island wars were also awful on both fronts
Mm,
because there's just it, it almost felt like war for war reasons
yeah.
because
I
we
feel
want
like
go on.
Yeah, go ahead. Sorry. I feel like war happens for a lot of petty reasons, right? I don't think a lot like there's used to be reasons the war happened was like for actual like meaningful reasons, whether it was like taking territory and expanding an empire, whether you'd consider that petty or you'd just consider that, the only way an empire could grow. It's just I feel like nowadays we fight over the dumbest things, right? I
Yeah,
mean, Russia's attacking Ukraine just because they want their land back.
yeah.
Like that's just crazy to me, and it's just because Ukraine has independence from Russia, and Russia doesn't like that, so they're pissy about it. Like, why?
I don't think we should talk about Israel on YouTube. So,
Honestly, like that's why we're here, man. We're here to talk about anything and everything. Look, the universe glitched, and we just hit record. I don't know what
that
to
is
tell
true.
you. All right,
Um,
this is what we do here. Unfiltered, unpredictable. This is us.
well,
All
here's the
right,
thing.
if you get offended by something, fuck you.
Oh
That's
shit,
what we
I'm
do.
sitting
This is
now.
our job. You're sitting. Well done.
I'm
You found the
finally
chair.
sitting.
Congratulations.
Ah, it looks so weird. Anyway,
ah! Grab the bleed. Forget.
I need to scrub this from my memory.
Crazy, bro.
But with Israel currently, I feel like their current onslaught on the Gaza Strip specifically isn't
Mhm.
about, Hamas. That's like an excuse.
Right. For sure. Yeah.
Like in the past, they've kind of been known to start throwing stones at people like usual, like
Mhm.
countries over there do.
Welcome
Because
to the Middle East.
yeah, it's not just because it's Israel. It's just because it's the Middle
Look, if
East.
you like the Middle East has always been at conflict since biblical times. I mean, for crying out loud, everything started in the Middle East since the New Testament of the Christian Bible. I mean,
Heck, even
you,
since the
you
Old
want to
Testament.
talk about a problem? If you can stabilize Midwest relations, that's something that'll make headlines. That's
Oh yeah,
something that should make headlines. I mean, you got other problems going on right now, like South Africa is flooding right now. You've got the subway tunnels in New York that's also flooding because if you didn't know this, like there were already projections that the coastlines would be underwater just because like global warming, the ice caps are melting, water level is rising. I mean, 70% of our world's water supply, fresh water, is in the polar ice caps. You take away all the water out of those polar ice caps and flood the earth with it, and only like a foot will be left off of Mount Everest. Like we'll be a full water world.
oh
So
yeah.
like you think about, and I mean a lot of people say like New York is flooding, like yeah, it's flooding, but not because of global warming. If you didn't know this, New York is literally sinking under the weight of its own buildings. There is
Yeah,
so much built there that it is literally sinking the island. And I think that's crazy. But not surprising, right? Because I mean, it is the first city that was established as an American country, like as North America goes, or more accurately, the
the
United States.
colonies.
Well, so when we first landed here, New York was the first city. And I know a lot of people are going to argue and say, no, it was Jamestown. Fuck you.
Jamestown is gone.
Jamestown is a town, not a city. I said first city.
And when
New
we came
York
back,
City,
they weren't
it's
there.
in the name. It's in the name, right? It's New York City, Jamestown. I said largest city. If you start correcting me, say, no, it's Jamestown. Fuck you. It's New York City. The word is in the, it's like literally the description. But yeah, so I guess in my like a personal opinion, I feel like our ability to like build buildings, the industrial age, all those things that kind of came up, is kind of the reason that we're hitting a downfall. Like we're going to we've already outlived our welcome as a country, just as it stands. I mean,
Yeah,
America is falling apart. Period, and there's nothing we can do about it. Like there, don't get me wrong, there's plenty we could be doing about it. It's just because we're too petty to not. So I don't know. It's like
I feel like
there are a
part
lot
of
of
it.
things going on in other worlds. People have a lot of money and everyone's using it to buy some like crazy car or like a penthouse garage or suite. And I'm like, you could be curing cancer or like donating money to people like in other countries that have nothing. Clean
Why would
water
we do
in
that?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like you take what was it? I think Mr. Beast literally just went to Malawi and gave them like thousands of people clean water and stuff as well. He just went on a mission there. And I feel like, a lot of people have a bit of pent-up hate for Mr. Beast, at least in the beginning, because they were like, "Oh, you have all this money and you got to do it for fame." Like, well, that's going to be normal anyway.
Yeah.
But the
Rough
moment he
summer days.
started doing other stuff, like he started, giving water to Malawi, and he started rescuing shelter dogs and animals that would be euthanized if he didn't, like all this different stuff. Like he started saving African animals. Like I feel like he started doing stuff like that, and people had a bit more respect for him. He's kind of breaking the YouTube algorithm, though. I will be real.
He
He
is.
is so like there's a point to when you become so popular that that actually becomes a problem.
Yeah.
But
Like,
I have mad respect for him. I really do, because he's doing some good stuff with that money. He's not just doing stuff for himself.
yeah, he's actually giving away. Now there comes a question on how much he actually makes on those videos. Um,
Hmm.
because especially with the adpocalypse, and
Hmm.
people starting to use ad blockers, which I support because
Yeah.
we didn't have ad blockers, YouTube would probably be pushing a lot more ads a lot harder. Like, you think it's bad now? If we were forced to watch ads, you don't think they put like 5 mid-rolls in like
You think,
5
look,
seconds?
if they wanted us to watch their ads, like if they wanted to force us, they could, because there are ways you can make a website that actually says you're using an ad blocker, turn it off and reload the page. Like there are literally websites that do that, that won't let you use an ad blocker and their content. So like, and I feel like that's another thing, right? Is, you think about how much money Mr. Beast must make. He's like, I think he's at like 300 and something million subscribers now. He's really pushing it on
Oh
the
yeah.
limits here. I don't I like I, They're going to need to create a new play button at this point. But I feel like I've seen an interview with Markiplier who has like 35, 30, I think it's like 30 something, 40 million, I think, subscribers, somewhere in that area. And he did an interview with someone where he was talking about how much money he makes from this and how he gets like $1 every view,
Oh.
because he was talking about that video that he did. The like his most popular video was one he wasn't proud of, because it was like the meow video or whatever.
Meow.
Meow. He did that video, and he was like, "That's my most popular video. It's got like, I think it was like 300 and something million views on that. It was like really well received." And he said, "I get like $1 every view." And dude's got billions of views per thing. Like he makes so much money. Him breaking a chair and rage baiting over the Bennett Foddy and getting over it is the least of his concerns.
Or him
But then
like,
you think of someone like Mr. Beast, who gets that much more viewers, that infinitely more, and it's just like, how much money does this guy make? Because he already started out with like funding that was insane, right? He already
yeah.
had like $1 million videos put out before he hit a million subscribers. Now he's rocking like 300 million subscribers, or 400 mil. And I think, didn't he just release a video that was like $1 billion something, like a
I
$1 versus $1 billion thing? I think it
I
was a
think
military
so.
bunker.
I Here's the thing. I don't usually watch Mr. Beast. It's just not my type of
Yeah,
content. I'm
I really
more,
don't either, to be fair.
yeah. But I like what he does. The concepts are honestly, they were pretty novel at the time. Now everyone's just copying him. Like, have you heard the name Morgs?
I have, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. I
Yeah, the copious amounts of copycatting, yeah.
yeah. And then like I like how he brings his parents into it.
Well, I think like it's also, I think, the sort of normal tradition of YouTube is that there's always going to be someone who repeats something that works, right? That's
Oh
just
yeah.
human behavior as it stands. If something works, why change it? I mean, first time we started getting a funny cat video when the YouTube just started and the internet first came up, everyone started making it because they were like, it's working. And
Or the
then
dancing
people
GIF
started doing
baby.
let's play videos, and people were like, well, some people, like the older people and older generations, saw let's plays and were like, you're watching someone play a game that you could be playing yourself. Like, what the hell, right? And then everyone started doing it, right? You got Jacksepticeye, you've got DanTDM, Markiplier, PewDiePie, you got Queso, you've got so many different YouTubers over so many different generations. And what was our childhood when it came to stuff like DanTDM and Stampy Cat and Grian and Mumbo Jumbo and all them, like especially with Minecraft YouTubers when that started getting popular,
Ugh.
we had that, and like now they're adults and have kids of their own. Like DanTDM's a father now.
Which is why
He
he's
was
not
like a
uploading
father.
nearly as much.
We grew up with him. We were like 10 years old watching Mark and watching Jacksepticeye and all them when they first started,
Yeah,
like 13 years ago. And now they're adults and they have lives of their own, and it's crazy. I mean, speaking of old Minecraft YouTubers, Stampy Longnose, it was like my childhood. I watched
yeah.
him all the time, and he, like, just a few months ago just retired from the the Minecraft Let's Plays
I
for
thought
his
that was
lovely
like a
world.
year, or was that like
It's
Stampy's
been
World?
closer to probably a year. The Stampy's Lovely World, he stopped doing videos for because they were
Mm,
like, get it to, like, he was so close. He was like at 800 and something episodes or whatever. And they were like, get to 1,000. And he actually talked about that, about like how long it takes to make the videos, how much energy it takes. And that it's like, I would love to, but at the same time, it's just like,
how
it's
much
time
could
to
you
move
even
on.
do?
And it's also just like, you do something for so long, you raise a generation, you get used to that. And then it's just, then you want to focus on yourself, right? You
Yeah,
got a life of your own, you've got a significant other, maybe you want to start a family and just lay it out. You want to retire. That just becomes a thing. He'd been doing it for like almost 10 years, maybe
yeah,
longer. I feel that. I really do. You do something for so long, and it's not to say you don't enjoy it. It's just it becomes a bit one note after a while. It
yeah.
becomes a bit bittersweet. It's more bittersweet to let it go at that point because you see all the good that you've done, all the lives you've touched.
But then it also comes to what the content now is. It clearly has evolved from like when it
Well,
was
yeah,
like at the first, but eventually you kind of just run out of stuff to do. Like,
yeah.
great example, Simpsons. Everyone knows the Simpsons. Modern day
Mhm.
Simpsons, a lot different from
Very
previous
different.
years.
Same with Family Guy at this point too. Family Guy's on the same boat.
It has the seasonal rot now. Same with
Yeah,
SpongeBob, but it's teaching a new generation of kids at the very least of like it gets their humor, but our humor as when we were kids is completely different.
it's definitely changed, yeah. And I feel like that's another thing that goes in tandem with like when Fortnite became popular, now everyone is like trying to be bought out. And now we have The Simpsons in Fortnite. I'm like, I feel like this is just a push of desperation, right? Of like, we have these new episodes. They're not as loved as the originals were. Maybe if Fortnite buys us, we can get more attention, whatever. Because it's like, I feel like Fortnite isn't inherently a bad thing as it stands. Like, it's a game that is well received by a lot of the younger generation. I feel
Yeah,
like younger kids. I mean, we're making way for a new generation. Like us, we're not that generation. Of course, we're not going to like it because that's not what we grew up on. But when you get something like Fortnite and the kids that come after us, right? Like I have nieces and nephews that play Fortnite, and I'm totally fine with that. Like I'm not going to bitch about it. It's just not my cup of tea.
yeah.
Like it just missed me in generational anything.
When did Fortnite come out? I'm trying to remember.
I don't remember. I know I started playing it when it first
Was
came out.
Trump
I
in
started like
office?
season 2. No, he was not.
Okay. So
No,
like 2016 around that area, maybe
I thought
2015.
it was maybe like 20, maybe a little bit earlier than that. After 2010, sometime maybe 2013, 2014. I don't know.
It's been longer than
Give or take.
2013. Or
Well,
not
because
longer, excuse me.
I know when I started though, because like I still had my old username. I was still living in a different place as well, and I remember the first time I played Fortnite, it was like the season 2 to season 4 when the Omega skin was still like the normal skin you could get at the end of the battle pass or whatever. And I feel like Fortnite was also that was the first game I was like I actually heard what a battle pass was. I was like, what the hell's a battle pass? Sorry, like a subscription that you need to buy to unlock a bunch of stuff as you play just seemed weird to me, you know? But then I kind of saw the appeal as things went on, and then as I started to grow out of that, it just became no longer relevant to me, I guess.
Yeah. I'll be honest, Fortnite's subscription model is ingenious, but it has poisoned the gaming industry in general. Like,
I think it's just because of all the stuff that they brought in. Like, I
yeah.
feel like them buying out all these other companies for their characters is what broke it. Having original characters would have been nice, and they
Well,
did for a while.
once you start bringing in fucking Jerry from fucking
Oh God!
yeah,
Look,
or like Futurama, like it got to a point where it's like, oh yeah, cool, Snoop Dogg's in here, but then you
well,
get
so
like
it was like
cartoon.
yeah, well, so it was different when it was stuff that I didn't know or things that was like celebrity stuff, right? Like
Yeah,
I didn't care if it was like a show I had never seen because again, when it comes to Futurama, I don't really care. Like I get it. I see the appeal for other people and I feel sympathy towards that, but I never watched Futurama. I know a few of the characters, like I know about Bendy and all that, and it was an interesting concept,
his
but
name is Bender.
I can't really well, Bender, whatever. I played Bendy and the Ink Machine, and I'm sorry, I heard Machine and Bendy and Bender. Fucking
He
look,
was a
I'm
little
sorry.
devil
All
thing.
I'm saying, yeah, all I'm saying is, it's just they started bringing in other stuff, and like when I started seeing Star Wars stuff, and I started seeing like the Terminator, and we saw Sarah Connor and all that, I was like, oh God, are you kidding me? Like we started seeing stuff that just shouldn't have been there. I feel
Yeah,
like they started ruining the other franchises with Fortnite, and I have only just now started getting ads for like the Simpsons stuff, and I just I don't know how to feel about it. It's not my cup of tea.
I do think it was pretty funny that they put Buff Peter in there though.
That was interesting. I'll give them that. That was good. It's
I'll,
just I don't know. You know, it's the gaming industry is definitely changing, and I don't know if it's for the better or worse. I guess it depends on where you look, because
Call of
we
Duty.
have certain industries. Call of Duty is dying. Call of Duty
Yeah,
Black Ops 2 was something that I was heavily into at the time because I loved like the zombies map and like the Alcatraz. That was my stuff, man. That was my shit. But then you get into like newer stuff and like I hear Modern Warfare 2 or whatever, the campaign for that was like actually really good, and then anything beyond that was just not great. And I think a part of that is also just due to who they bring in, right? You got actors and stuff like Josh Duhamel, who has been playing like the military type characters since the Transformers movies came out, and he's kind of like he's been in the Transformers movies, he's been in the Callisto Protocol, he's been the characters in like Modern Warfare 2 for the World War II stuff, and I mean it's interesting. Like I get it, it grabs more attention, but at the same time, it's kind of like using duct tape to hold together a nuclear reactor. You know,
yeah.
you're holding together something that is so fragilely put together already with something that you just are reaching for the stars to grab. You contact Hollywood to fix something that ran on like a $10,000 budget, right? Like
Yeah.
that just doesn't work.
I mean, especially with the newest game, um, apparently they had to use AI in certain areas because of just how
Mm.
big that crunch time was. And
Oh God.
I'm starting to feel like these big companies, like Steam's a very good example of what to do. Like, they give their developers time, but they do have a deadline. If they need to move
Mhm.
it, you get like two chances. That's it.
Yeah,
But
which
to
is
not,
pretty reasonable, all things considered.
yeah, but not to not even move it back to like Christmas, that's a little
Mm.
insane. Because,
Like when the like for instance when the Cyberpunk 2077 came out, everyone was like, "Oh my God, it's so bad, it's terrible." Yeah, because you rushed their asses to release the damn game, and now they felt pressured. You know, they
yeah,
said that they didn't want to be rushed, and they were working on the game very diligently. And I heard it was going extremely well, all things considered. There was a lot of talk about it, there was a lot of hype, and then people started pressing it because it was taking too long. And I feel like if they had done what Rockstar is doing with GTA 6 now, we'd actually have something good, you
ah,
know?
yes,
I mean, we've
10
had
years in development.
like it, but yeah, 10 years is what it took Quantic Dream to create Detroit Become Human as well. It took them a long time, but look what we got, right? It took a long time, but you can't rush art.
I'll be honest.
Game developing is a type of art. You know what I mean?
I feel like Detroit become human took so long is because they took the Telltale design.
Well, yeah, I guess maybe one could argue that. But again, like Quantic Dream especially is just good at that sort of thing. And
Yeah.
they're working on the game. I'm sure you've heard it making rounds lately, but Star Wars Eclipse is like the game that was talked about for a long time, like 4 years ago, and then it said it was like announced to be canceled, but it wasn't
Oh,
actually canceled apparently. Like literally just like a few months ago, I watched a guy named Bombastic Clips, and he does like a bunch of Star Wars news related things, and he's talked about how they had just started work up again. That they started hiring people and started bringing in more people to work on this stuff. And the problem with creating it was they didn't have the people, but now they
yeah.
have the people. So it's like brought back on, and it looks really good. Quantic Dream is good at making hyper realistic everything. It looks Hollywood level quality, like old school Hollywood. I mean, not like the shit we got now.
Yeah.
Like it looks so good. It
Bro,
really does.
how did CGI get so bad, by the way? Like,
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Okay, so I think part of that is because part of that is just human intervention, period. I mean, we had Star Wars Attack of the Clones, which was perfect. I mean, you saw the Battle of Geonosis, aside from the actors, every single scene there was CGI. The landscape, the Geonosians, even the clone troopers weren't people in armor. Like, it was just done so incredibly well. You have movies like Avengers Endgame, which quality wise was good, story wise,
eh,
iffy. Like people hate on it because of the story, but I think visually it was still pretty stunning for the budget that it ran on.
I
And
do like
you know
Fat
that's
Thor.
also the thing. That Thor was pretty good. The first time they bring a canonically accurate Thor into the picture, and he's
And
not
he's
even
just
fat enough
depressed.
either. He's just depressed, dude. Oh, see, this is Jane's, an old flame of mine.
I'm
see,
still
see,
worthy.
I'm still awake. See, Jane, she stuck her hand inside a rock this one time, and then the rock stuck itself inside her, and she got really sick. You see them off to the side. What the fuck? It's like, is he asleep? Nah, nah. Pretty sure he's dead.
Oh God.
Dude, it was so good, dude. But
I
yeah, like there was all I'm saying is quality wise, the movie was done really well. And the entire scene of the Avengers Tower fight with Cap versus Cap was done CGI.
yeah,
All of it. Not one bit. And the reflections in the windows, like it was one of those glass buildings that has all window. Like
yeah.
that's crazy to me how they got all the reflections. They got all like the bars and like the rafters and shit and the bridge and everything. And it was done so well. It looked like practical. You know what I mean?
Well, remember, with CGI, it's a lot easier to do stuff like live lighting or like ray tracing, um,
Right.
or extremely accurate. The thing where they like analyze the particles itself, that
Yeah.
all goes with rendering, and it takes like days to do. But once it's done, it looks fantastic.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You take CGI and mix that with practical like we did like 20 years ago. That's why movies were good because we had explosions that were real. We didn't have explosions that were done through a digital effects thing, right? And I think we spend more money actually on CGI explosions than we do practical ones. You could just
Nah.
buy pyrotechnics and explosives, but
Although,
hiring people to do a good job takes a lot more money and a lot more time, and I
yeah,
feel like we waste a lot of time by doing that, maybe not just money.
well, time is money in that industry, and with pyrotechnics
They
specifically,
have
if you fuck it up, you have to buy a whole new set. Like,
Well, yeah, unless you do it like we did back in the 80s. If you remember when Terminator came out, you see the nuke scene where like the Sarah Connor's dream or whatever, she's like holding onto the fence gate and like yelling at him, get it out and all that. And seeing how they did that was just done so well. Like they built a miniature of the town and blew it up. Like that was really done. That was done well, I think. We
yeah,
don't have many nuke scenes in movies or in games. You have like Far Cry 5 with the nuke scene, which was done in like Unreal Engine and stuff. You have like movie scenes with nukes, like when the Mandalorian series came out and we saw like the flashback to the Night of a Thousand Tears. You remember that? and we
Yeah.
saw the TIE bombers blowing up the domed city, we saw it was like a nuke. It looked so good.
Oh yeah.
And I feel like this was what we resorted to after we had, like, back in the day with older movies, they just used actual footage of nuclear explosions. Like every time we saw a SpongeBob episode where some crazy thing happened, like the exploding pie episode, and they showed the nuke, they actually showed like an IRL image from the sky of the water
Yeah.
exploding. And that was always funny to me. And that was, that's comedy gold when it comes to movies. And that's like creativity is using what we already have. We're so busy on creating something new, something more, something that we don't need. And I feel like that's maybe where we get stuck. Is we're relying way too much on CGI and not enough on practical and the other stuff that we already have that we know works.
I think that's why specifically AI doesn't work at all, especially in these ecosystems. Mostly because we already have ways of doing it cheaper for like
Hmm.
less, let's just say, resources, because it, it takes a lot less resources to do it live, a little bit more money. It takes a lot more
Hmm.
money to do CGI, and it takes a fuck ton of money to do AI, specifically
Yeah.
setting up all that shit. And these companies want a lot more money, so what's going to happen once they're out of the development phase? They're going to raise the prices on everyone.
Yeah.
Like
I
we got
definitely agree with that.
we got free models right now, but they're not going to stay free. Like we already have
No.
tokens for some of them.
We live in America, for Christ's sake. We run on capitalism. They are not going to stay that way.
Exactly. it, it it almost feels like whenever AI is brought up, people are like,
Mm,
"Oh, the images." That's not the only thing that's taking over. It's taking over middle management. And if you think AI
right.
images are your problem, wait till you have to tell your boss who is an AI that you have to take a day off.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude. Well, so here's the thing as well, right? Is like AI, people were always so worried. They were like, oh my God, AI is going to kill us all. We give them a body, they're going to kill us, blah, blah, blah. The whole like concept of that. But people, I don't think people realize there's a difference between open AI and general AI.
Yeah.
Because general, like open AI and general AI, ChatGPT uses open.
Hmm.
General AI is a self-writing code, self-updating code. It's something that doesn't require human intervention to patch itself. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's what we would be worried about if we create anything. And the whole Asimov's three laws of robotics thing is there's so many loopholes in that. If it's
It's
an
so
AI is
bullshit.
designed to be 100 times smarter than a human being, then you know damn well there's going to be a way an AI will find a loophole around that if we can.
You need to add the fourth
So
one. Do not do any loopholes for whatever reason with these laws.
proceeds to use a different definition of the word loophole, uses a different word that means the same thing. It's like, can I do this then?
No. If you have to ask, you can do it. Ask a human first.
That's what I'm saying. Well, so here's the thing as well, though. It's like with AI, people were always so worried that it would kill everyone. But now we're at that point where it's like, we can't tell what's real. That's the
Yeah.
problem. It's like, it's creating content, it's creating even news headlines that are fake. And the thing about AI is, especially with ChatGPT, it's confidently incorrect.
Yeah.
Like it is using false information, but it's confident that it's right. And that's the problem because you can't tell if an AI is lying because they don't have emotion to signal like if a person's lying, maybe they're sweating a little bit or they're shaky, maybe their eyes are darting around and you don't know which, like they're not paying attention and you know they're maybe not being honest with you. But an AI, not only do you not have a body to look at to see like body language, you don't have emotion.
Yeah.
It literally just speaks to you so plainly that you can't tell the difference. And that's also the thing. There's a video that Kurzgesagt just released recently. I'm sure you're familiar with Kurzgesagt in a
Oh, I love
nutshell.
him.
He did a lot of like space videos and he's got like he's my favorite. I love his voice and everything. He's got
He
that
hasn't finished
perfect
his
narrator voice.
anatomy yet.
No, but that's the thing. Like he did a video on AI and talked about this, and I just watched that recently, and I was like, it was so real though, because it's like they're using data and using information that is incorrect to like spoon feed us this, and that's what's gonna destroy us in the end, I feel like. It's not
Yeah,
because an AI is gonna try and kill us with swords and guns, right? I
it's
feel
because of
like
our over reliance on AI with bad data models.
yes. Which is also why I loved how Kurzgesagt explained how they do stuff at their studios. That yes, we use AI, but we use it for like you know, like in
Proving,
editing purposes and
yeah,
proofing, yeah, and stuff like that. We don't use it to create the content. We use it to adjust and edit it
to
to
improve it.
our visual aesthetic design.
Yeah,
That is what I like about it. Like you can do Adobe After Effects or you can have an AI do that for you. Like that makes sense. But using content that's already there, made by humans, that is what I think AI should be used for, is more as an assistant, not something that does things for us.
it
We're
should not
stuck on the
interrupt
idea
the.
that AI should run a robot that can be like a servant to us, that we
Yeah.
don't do anything for ourselves anymore. I feel like Wally is just a prophecy at this point, waiting to come true.
Well, the whole thing with Wally was a environmental message where it's like, if we stop doing shit, it's only going to get worse. Like,
It talked about multiple things. It wasn't even just environmental. It brought up so many problems in our world that made sense to talk about. Because
yeah,
it was like we had the problem of like, the greenhouse gases and like like the garbage that we put into landfills that doesn't decompose on its own. And we
unbiodegradable materials.
yeah, it was talking about that because then in the opening sequence, like when it's zooming into the earth, you can see the Great Lakes are like flooded over. Like most of the states are like gone. There's water flooding in, so you know it's way in the future.
Yeah,
And then you get into the bit where it starts going over the land and you sell the garbage, and you can see like they had just converted to clean energy too late because you can see like the windmill where and all the other like clean energy devices that they wanted to like fix things, and then it was just too late. Earth became toxic, it was unbreathable, and that was that. But I feel like that was one problem that it touched on, and then the AI problem as well, of like our over reliance on technology making us lazy, making us fat, and we want somebody who will do things for us because we feel like easier is better.
yeah,
It's less work for us. Like some things, I get it. It makes sense, right? Like exploration of the pyramids being done by robots works just because it's like there are certain chambers and areas that a human hand can't access. And like there are like the poisonous gas that comes off of like the ammonia from the rotting bodies in there that could kill you. Like it makes sense to have certain things. Fighting wars with robots, I get it, but I also don't. It's like I feel like I follow kind of what the Roman Empire believed at the time. Was before we had bows and arrows, how they like if you watch 300 Spartans, you remember what they said about like the Spartans said about the Persians with their arrows. They called them cowards
yeah,
because, and I think Neil deGrasse Tyson has also touched on this in an interview, and this is my same mindset, is if you're going to fight someone, fight them face to face. We're so confident that we can kill somebody from 100 feet away, 1,000 feet away, a continent away, that we have no confidence in ourselves anymore.
yeah,
What's the point if you can like the difference between fighting somebody with a sword and hand-to-hand combat, that's the risk, and that's what makes you a hero, and that's what makes you brave, is knowing that you can get hurt, and then having a nuclear missile, an ICBM, that you can send over an entire ocean in a matter of minutes, right,
yeah.
to vaporize a city of millions of people. Like, is that, well, that's just cowardice at that point.
It is.
That is beyond cowardice. Bows and arrows was cowardly.
They're effective, but a little too effective to the point where you're not even in danger anymore. Which I do get. Humans do not like to fight unless it's against other humans.
That's what I'm saying. Like, you remember when the iRobot movie came out, right? The one with Will Smith and all that. And he was like, talking about how the robot killed the human or whatever. And he was like, and his chief of police said, and then I guess we'll miss the good old days. And he was like, what good old days? And he said, the days when humans were killed by other humans.
Yeah.
Like, that was how it used to be. That's how it would always be. Like, we're so focused on getting robots to do our jobs for you. What do you want to have on your gravestone? That you were killed by a machine that was sent and deployed, like a machine soldier? Like, that feels wrong on so
It's
many
not even a
levels, right?
soldier at that point because a soldier
Like,
implies
what
that
are
has a
we even
life.
fighting anymore? What are we even fighting over anymore? Just like, you have a robot fighting over a robot, and then what? Just the like, I don't get it. Like the
It generally
enforcement of
just turns
security on that.
into whoever has the most money has the most power.
Right. And I think that is the biggest thing is like the moment the United States started going into the capitalism business, everyone started doing it because then they realized, oh, it's working. You see
Hello,
China
Google.
copying a lot of our technology as well with like the laser weapons and stuff. They're like, oh, we have this new laser weapon or whatever. We're downing drones. We created that like 10 years ago.
Yeah.
We started working on railguns for the USS Kidd. We had so many things going on that like it even made it into movies and stuff. Like, we worked on technology and we probably have technology. People are always like, what's an Area 51? Is it aliens? It's a technological research facility, not a biological research
It's a tank
facility.
with a laser strapped on it.
When you go into Area 51, how much you want to bet we already have like seventh generation fighter jets and like weapons that could end the world? I mean, Project Sundial, for instance, was a bomb that was created, I think it was by a Polish scientist in like 1950 ish, somewhere around there.
To
And
end the
that
world.
bomb was designed, yeah, it was designed to end the world because it was like we wanted to see just, it was like, who's got a bigger dick? It was always the big fight over that.
Which I feel like we should just shoot into space by now. Like, no one should have access to that. No
No one
state,
should have
no
access to
country.
that. No, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's just a problem all around, and I think it's a crisis that the world is in either unwilling to solve or incapable of at this point because we've gone so far off the deep end now. You know,
I mean,
I think at this point our money
if you
is
want
better off just
if you want
what's
to
up?
go the opposite route, this is also the same problem with if we ever discover immortality. Who's going to get it?
Right. Like that is honestly the thing, right? At this point, if somebody gets their hands on that, we're just fucked anyway.
Yeah. Because then they can
You
like
get
dangle it
the
in front of you like a carrot and then end your life whenever they want to.
Yeah, and that's also the other thing too is when you think of like the what we could be using our money for, there's a flip side to doing good with our money too. Because like
Yeah.
we can spend our money towards curing cancer, curing illnesses, and the eventual like legendary panacea, the cure everything pill. But in the
It will.
end,
It
if we
will.
do that, who gets hold of that, right? Like sometimes like disease is just a natural part of life. That's gonna happen whether we want it to or not. And us changing that is breaking the natural order. And I don't get me wrong, cancer and stuff, all these other things, the things that are untreatable. I get it. It's a lot. It's hard. People lose people, and that's just the way it is. But that's humanity. That's the circle of life that we have to focus ourselves on because if we don't, then having nothing to lose makes us cocky and arrogant.
I think what would probably work is if you had the choice to live rather than die,
Yes.
but not to indefinitely live. Like,
Yeah.
okay, human brain limit for memories is about 300 years. I
Mhm.
feel like in those 300 years, if you don't get dementia, if you don't get Alzheimer's and all that, because that just destroys
If
your
you get
brain.
dementia and Alzheimer's, no, if you get dementia and Alzheimer's, it just clears up room to live a few thousand more years.
I can live forever. I can live forever. It just becomes that for like the next
He
1,000
just keeps
years.
repeating. He just keeps repeating that because he keeps forgetting he said it 1,000 years ago.
You just have like a whole
That's so
stadium full
real,
of these
though.
people just put up there.
Yeah, no kidding, right? Fucking up on the jumbotron.
Who do you want to hear the last words of today? Like
It's wild, bro.
wild.
But yeah.
But yeah, I feel like there should be an age limit, but
Mm-hmm.
it should be reasonable. Like for example, no hard limit.
Mm-hmm.
Let's say like cuz this is going to cause an overpopulation problem, right?
Yeah.
And while freedom is nice, I feel like if you're going to live for 300 years, you should not have 300 kids.
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. Have you been to India? It's like an ant colony.
it
There's so
is,
many
but
people.
look, they live
Everyone
in the
like
same
half an
house
inch
as
away from each other at an intersection. Like you don't even know what's going on. People honk to tell you which way they're going because they don't have stoplights.
they have cars
Like
with
that's
different types of
terrifying to me.
honks.
What was it that Fluffy said? A man could get shot in the middle of the street, and you just hear somebody go, "Somebody pick him up."
We can't stop
And
traffic
meanwhile, in America, somebody gets shot on the middle of the street, everyone screeches to a fucking halt.
unless it's New York.
Well, yeah, well, let's be honest. I wasn't talking about New York, but
New
all
York's
I'm
the India of
saying,
the
why do
Americas.
you think it's the center place for like all the superhero stuff in like comics? Because nobody cares. That's normal to them.
Ah, yes, Lex Luthor just destroyed my child. I guess I'll just make another one.
This is wild shit, bro. Dude, like it really is though. It really is like the only people in those series that get oh Jesus. The only people that get
Technical difficulties,
oh,
folks.
ah! The only people that get pissy about something like that happening at this point is literally just other villains and superheroes. Like you see the fucking like the Black Zero event in DC with the Superman fighting Zod, and you see it from all the different perspectives of like Batman got his best friend died in the building because Superman crashed into it and lasered it to pieces, and then and didn't even know he was in there, and it was like a whole thing. And then you see, like, that's like the whole reason that Batman's pissy now is because he believes a man shouldn't have that much power, which, don't get me wrong, is a reasonable response to that. But he only started believing that after his friend died. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Like, I feel like everyone has a motive, no matter who you are. And in the end, nobody does the right thing just because it's right, especially in a seat of power.
I think
People who do the
I think
right
I
thing just because it's right are people like you and me, or other people on the lower class.
there's a quote from Futurama. Yes, stupid, but Bender met God essentially.
Okay.
And the main quote from it is God won't help you, but in God's eyes, the best way to do good is for them to not even know if you did anything at all.
Yeah, that is honestly real. I take a lot of quotes from movies as well to kind of like inspire myself and others. And I think, there's a lot of hidden messages in movies that I feel like we should pay attention to more, right?
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of lessons to be learned, a lot of messages to be heard and sent. And especially like you think of movies like Kung Fu Panda, right? Yeah, it sounds stupid at first. Then you think of the words that Oogway spoke to Poe. He said, Yesterday is history. Tomorrow is a mystery, but today is a gift. That's why it's called the present." It's like just giving you emphasis on don't focus on the past. It's already gone. Make peace with it. Move on. Don't focus too much on the future because you don't know what's going to happen. Focus on the present because that's where you can change everything. That's your gift. That is the closest we have to time travel is the present, right?
yeah. So far,
That's
at
what
least.
I always tell people. So far, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you take another movie, for example. Remember, and I use this in a lot of like when it comes to religion and stuff, people talk about this, and I bring this up in conversation. There was a scene in the first Avengers movie where Loki gets the people in Stuttgart, Germany to bow down before him, right?
Yeah,
And what he says, is this not simpler? Is this not your natural state? It's the unspoken truth of humanity that you crave subjugation. The bright lure of freedom diminishes your life's joy in a mad scramble for power and identity. You were made to be ruled, and in the end, you'll always kneel. I feel like that, like in a different perspective, like if you think of that from a religious sense, I think it makes a lot more sense, right? We're talking
well,
about
yeah,
we're not talking about Loki, who's just, a craving power and kind of craving a throne that he never had that he felt was his right to have. Think about it in the sense of like religion and God, right? Of, we're human beings. We crave a sense of purpose. We want leadership, but the problem with what we have right now is it's not good leadership.
mm.
We want someone who can give the people of this world what we should have from the beginning. We have free will for a reason. And don't get me wrong, we should be governed by people, but it should be done fairly and justly. That's why the 14th Amendment was created, the Equal Rights
So
Protection Clause.
there's actually a really good book. Have you ever read the book Scythe?
I have heard of it. I have not read it though.
So, main idea, death has been eradicated naturally. But
Okay.
there's an overpopulation problem, and you can technically make yourself look younger because who wants to, I'll be honest, do the tootly winks with a raisin, but
Right.
it's not perfect. You can tell if someone's done has it done. So
Hmm.
you have all these old people, and you're like, okay, well, they're still making kids at like age 150. Um,
Hmm.
how do we solve the overpopulation problem? And they came up with a great idea: have people murder people.
I was gonna say kill them all.
No, so they have these things that are basically the Grim Reaper. Um,
Yeah, hence the name
because
Scythe, I imagine.
yeah, so this is also a place where even if you're just ahead, they can regenerate you completely.
Yeah, that's
It
crazy. Okay,
just think about like the super soldier serum. Um,
everyone's a Deadpool now.
you have to be sent somewhere to do it because they have like
Hmm.
specific areas, and it's like they reprint a whole body for you, stick you back in it. But
Okay.
the thing about it is, how can you take a guess how the government works in that movie or not? Well, not movie, book.
Exactly the same as it does in real life.
Nope, overpowered AI.
Oh, of course.
Well, hold on. So the main principle of this AI is humans will commit crime. Let me
Hmm.
make an area where they can just do that when they
Yeah.
commit a crime in the utopia.
Yeah.
Now, the area is provided with all the food that they want, anything they would ever need, but they have to deal with each other until their sentence is up.
Okay.
It's
So
like
it's like a prison,
it's like
basically,
has
at
been
that point.
hotel.
It really.
Like
Fair enough.
they
Fair
scoot them
enough.
over for now. But this
Yeah.
AI is not it's not evil. It's a functional AI, but it
Hmm.
starts to gain an idea of humanity that
Hmm.
I don't think even humans have obtained yet.
Well, if it's written in a book, then somebody has.
Well,
Go on.
let me give you an example because it's not written straight out.
Fair
So
enough.
everyone's controlled by not controlled, but has a mass amount of nanobots in them.
Yeah.
And the issue with that is the AI can take it over, but it chooses not to, except for one instance when it
Hmm.
needs to, and when the scythe program is not working. Because the
Fair
way that
enough.
the scythe program's supposed to work is you kill each individual. You don't do mass murder.
Yeah.
It's a respectful thing. And
Hmm.
the AI has nothing to do with that.
You
It
know, it's
can't
a
even interact
problem
with
when
it.
the planet is running out of space to hold people.
Oh yeah. Um
Like, oh, that's not like I ran out of room in my toy box to put my Legos. All right. That's like, this is a planet.
well,
Like, even a nuke is small on a planetary scale.
the whole thing with it is so there's like these scythe members that are like, "Ooh, let's start doing mass burnings," like
Mm,
because the AI can't deal with death. That's the human side. Only
yeah.
humans can deal with death, so the AI has no part in it. It specifically said that it won't do it.
Hmm.
And I feel like that's actually pretty important in a case like this
Yeah.
because they started taking over the program like the mass murderers to the point where you're not safe anywhere at any age. Like
Hmm.
they will kill a 2-year-old.
Yeah.
So side program has this one thing, which by the way, massive spoilers. Do you care about the
Yeah.
spoiler?
A little bit. Yeah, I'm gonna be honest because
Okay.
this sounds interesting. Makes me
So
want to read it.
there is a
I'm also
specific
getting a little bit
program.
hungry, so we
I'm not.
might let's finish this conversation
Yeah.
and might cut it here. But yeah, let's
Yeah.
hear it. All right.
Just real quick. The just without any details, the creators of the Scythe program had a
Mm-hmm.
failsafe that in case this whole thing happens where respect is completely diminished or the AI takes over.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And it has to be activated by a human, multiple humans.
Mm-hmm.
And each Scythe person gets this like little diamond ring that has
Mm-hmm.
like a bunch of like data on it to like collect
Mm-hmm.
for like killing
Like
people and all that.
the red asset from RoboCop or whatever
Yeah. Um
to like protect them. Yeah.
well, here's the thing, when you're a Scythe, you can't regenerate.
Oh,
That's the interesting part.
gotcha.
So if
Okay.
you kill a Scythe member, and because the
They
AI
won't come
controls
back.
that part completely.
Yeah.
And again, hands off. But but it comes into a fun part in the story because it turns into a struggle between the AI and the new humans. Not in a negative
Mhm.
light either, because the AI is fighting for humanity. And I think
Yeah.
that's a nice, fun twist on the whole idea of AI controlling the world.
Yeah. I feel like that is a bit more creative, like a touch more creative than most AI stories, because it's always sort of like the AI takes over, robot takes over humanity concept. Like that's stereotypical, like zombie apocalypse stuff. Like it's just a cliche, and it's been a thing for a long time. And don't get me wrong, it is interesting, and every once in a while, a good one comes out. We had the Terminator as like the beginning to that sort of thing, you know, but I feel like it's running dry and having these little stories pop up here now and then, you know, of these ways that are kind of going differently about it is a breath of fresh air, definitely,
Oh
for
yeah.
storytelling. It is
Especially with
definitely good storytelling.
AI, with how oversaturated the median is with like futuristic
Yeah.
AIs taking over the world. I feel like one that deals with immortality as well as death with immortality
Mm,
is really interesting. Just in
yeah.
general, it is honestly the best way that
Like
I've seen like
immortality only being possible through technology is interesting to me. Like it's not something that people just have in the story. Like you're not a god that just can live forever, like give or take 5,000 years and then die off, right?
well,
Like you have like the only way you can be alive again is if the technology deems that so, and that's
correct.
interesting.
And in this one, it does. In another universe, it might just say "F you." I don't care.
Yep.
I I'm an AI. Why would I care about the stupid human, especially the one that doesn't do anything?
Yeah, I feel like it's the sort of like, you know, humans to God versus robots to humans, you know, of like some people believe in God and will pledge their life to a deity to take control of them, but then there's like the AI being the same parallel of like a human, like humans being their masters not being something that they'd want versus some of them maybe wanting it, you know, it's just a random 50-50 chance
Something that's
of it
more
going
like a
wrong.
co-partnership sort of deal.
Right. I feel like that would make more sense amongst the AI because I don't think an AI would be capable of jealousy as
Yeah,
much as it would be just like I want control of myself.
which
Having its
is
own ideas is what makes AI a scary concept.
having its own ability to form thoughts and opinions
To think
without
for
any
itself,
emotion is the most
sentence.
horrifying concept of it all because you can't
Especially
control it.
considering, yeah, especially considering like physically, if a robot is built that is capable of like handling a human in a way that a human can't, of like, you know, we have a durable body pretty close, but you take something that's made out of titanium, you can't just break that like you could break a bone. You know,
Exactly.
you can't defend yourself against a machine.
And you know what's funny?
So,
You
hmm,
can't you can't put pain sensors in it or else it'll start hating us for putting pain sensors in it.
real.
Like if it's starting to
Yep.
feel, it'll be like I have no senses like Am from
Mhm.
I have no mouth and I must scream. But then if you give it
Yeah.
senses, it'll be like, why did you give me this this godforsaken ability to feel?
Right. Like Balder from God of War 2018. Like, oh my god, I can feel now.
I can feel
Fucking dies.
something.
That's not great.
I can finally feel.
Yeah. Anyway, I think we should cut it there. I think we got
Yeah,
some good content there. But yeah, definitely interesting stuff to talk about. That's sort of like I feel like the main prominent things going on in the world today are just things that nobody talks about really. Like people
yeah.
talk about them individually as part of like headlines and people talk about them as like just normal inconveniences and the stuff going on, but a lot of people I know don't talk about stuff like what's going on in Gaza or over
The
in
enshittification
Ukraine
of
and stuff.
humanity.
And I think a lot of it is because we're not over there. We don't see it as our problem, right?
Yeah.
As Americans, we're not boots on the ground. We're not people in Ukraine. And I think the only reason we find ourselves being sensitive to it is because we know people.
Also the
So,
racism.
yes, the systemic racism is also a problem, yes.
Like,
But yeah,
yeah, no, good point. But I think the racism is the biggest problem here.
it's been going on for like 120 years now. Like, I don't understand.
250.
250. Well, okay, fair enough. I mean, you take the how long the United States has been around, and I think our
Actually,
racism started when Christopher Columbus was like, "Fuck you, Indians." And
you're not
this
even
is the
Indian,
funniest
but
part.
I'm
They're
calling
not
you
even
that.
Indians.
You got tan skin, you're an Indian.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny though, because he like the Native Americans, the whole Christopher Columbus thing. People say he discovered America. Actually, he didn't. You want to talk about aside from the Native Americans that were already there, there was another individual who actually discovered North America before us.
It was
Leif
a
Erikson the
Viking.
Lucky from Iceland. Yeah, Leif Erikson the Lucky discovered Newfoundland, and he was the first person to set foot in North America 1,000 years before Christopher Columbus in the year 1600. In the year 600. So, fuck you, Columbus.
Hey, all I'm
You
saying,
fucking
he didn't
rage baiting
discover
troll.
beaver, so
I mean, yeah, Newfoundland is like up in like Canada area anyway, so it's like
yeah.
it's fair, it's whatever. But I mean, I feel like Norwegians have a much more credit to discovering our country than anyone else because even like Minnesota, for instance, where I reside, it's a very like there's a reason our football team is the Minnesota Vikings is because our state was discovered by Norwegians.
Just don't look at Florida. Just don't.
Don't look at
Don't. It's very
don't look at the
racist.
Miami Dolphins. No,
It's very
no,
racist.
no, very rare. Meanwhile, in Vegas, all right, guys.
All right, guys. What's our thing? I don't know.
How
Fucking
white and blonde can we be?
yeah. How much of a
Anyway.
peacock can we start peacocking to peacock? All
Oh,
right.
that's good.
All right. Well, we've been the schizophrenics, not schizophrenics.
Well,
Ah,
honestly, it feels like it a little bit, but yeah.
yeah, we started
Welcome.
yapping like that.
Hope you guys enjoyed this podcast. We are the Sporadicast. That is what we do. We talk about anything sporadic, anything erratic, and all the things under the sun. So if
Most
you
of the
feel
time, not
offended, go
drunk.
take it somewhere else. Yeah, most of the time not drunk, although this is our first time, so anything's possible.
Yes.
But we hope you guys have a wonderful day, and thank you for tuning in.
All righty. And make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
Well, no, we won't force you. It's your life, but go
I
ahead.
am forcing you. Do it.
Please. We need the money.
Pay for our therapy. All right. Have some good food. Go to sleep. If you're listening to this while working, go to another video now because this ended.